Welcome back to the Profitable Home Services Podcast. This is the podcast where we uncover those hidden profit leaks, those ones that are sneaking around in your business. They're not saying, find me, find me. They're hiding in the corners. They got cobwebs over them wherever they are, but they're sucking out your profits.
Yeah.
And so, once again, we're going to go on another dive looking for profit leaks in your business. So today I'm happy to welcome Chris Scoville from Improvify, and we're going to talk about a topic that we've not talked about on this podcast before. So pretty cool. We got you a
Love it.
unique topic this time. So welcome, Chris. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Diane. It's great to be here, and I appreciate it so much. It's so cute that you I love it. Profit leaks. And if I may, it reminded me of a gentleman that's one of our clients over in Mississippi area. Now, he has a podcast, but he also has a mascot for his roofing company. And I believe the mascot's name is Leak.
Oh, how cool.
So he's a roofer. And now the mascot is a big blue, kind of a raindrop shape, and it's got goofy eyes. And they brand this thing all over their market. They're unbelievable. They're a fantastic company. They probably do 50, 60 million a year. Now, Leak has become so popular in their market that kids are making that as a Halloween costume. So
Oh
could you
my
can you imagine
goodness.
you're a roofer, come on,
Mhm.
and you make this mascot, and the mascot becomes so popular in this small town or in this town that kids want to emulate Leak and be Leak for Halloween.
Wow, that is
So,
so
so
cool.
sorry that they stole your idea first. I mean, you could have the profit leak drip, right?
I could. Yeah, or the profit drip or something. I don't
You could
know.
still do it. You could make it not blue, you could make it green.
Right. Yes. Yes. And make it a leaky dollar bill or something. Who
Yeah, there
knows?
you go. Hey, we came up with something cool. Great. Wonderful podcast. Thanks for having me on. Have a blessed day.
Well, Chris, I think we better talk a little bit longer. The listeners are going to go, "What was that?" The
Sounds
world's
good.
fastest podcast interview.
Oh, I know. Sounds good.
So, Chris, come and tell us a little bit about what does Improvify do, and why would we want to think about adding this type of a program to the services that my home service businesses are already offering?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. So, um, I guess I can rewind to give you a little history. I think it's important that we see where it actually conceptually came from. So, I've spent the last 30 years in financing. Um, and I started in 1991-ish, 93-ish, and
Okay.
it's 2025-ish, and I'm still
And you're
here.
only 29 years old, right?
I'm only 29, so I've been doing
Right.
this a long time. Um, so I've worked for many, many different banks over the years in many aspects, from commercial to the mortgage to the wholesale construction to permanent, working with big national banks. I was in compliance on Wall Street for a long time. Um, and then I was in the residential space for unsecured lending, and I worked for some great lenders. And my idea of Improvify was always this. It was, what can we do what can we do to differentiate and become the purple cow?
Oh, I love that. Purple cow.
Right?
Yep.
So, how do I create this company that provides all these solutions that's different than what's currently in the marketplace?
Mm-hmm.
So my mind started thinking, well, when I retire from the bank, I'm going to go build my own company. And all I'm going to simply do is take the boat that already exists, lending, and I'm going to
Uh-huh.
start plugging the holes in the boats, the leaks.
Okay.
So the conceptual idea of Improvify was this. It was lending, first and foremost, because that's what
Okay.
our home service and our
Mm-hmm.
clients and our contractors come
They
to us.
need it. You bet.
Then it was sales training on how to actually sell and offer financing and handle obstacles and objections at the point of sale. And then
Mm-hmm.
it was support, actual client success managers, and a deal desk that a contractor can call for help. They need help. So training,
Okay.
support, lending. And then we tie it into technology, our mobile app.
Okay.
So bringing those four pillars together has created us as a differentiator in the marketplace where Most lenders will give you it's money is a commodity. It's just
Right.
here's your
Yep.
money. Here's your
Yep.
rate sheet. Here's your account manager. Good luck. God bless.
Right.
My thought process was let's build something big and beautiful and really be a disruptor in the marketplace by creating these four beautiful pillars that don't exist in the marketplace. So that's where
Right.
the idea of Improvify came from and why I built this. Now, your question was why should a home improvement service company, a contractor offer financing or do business with Improvify? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yes and yes.
there's a lot of roads we can go down. Whether they do business with us or not, it doesn't matter. What does matter to me is that contractors, and I'll be completely agnostic, it matters to me that contractors offer financing to consumers for affordability options at the point of sale. I know that's a big sentence, and it's me being unselfish. Now, would I love everybody to use this? Sure. Are we a fit for everybody? Probably
No.
not. But some contractors aren't a fit for us because we have
Okay.
compliance and rules and people that we decide to work with and not. So it's okay if people either work with Improvify or they don't. I don't care. I'd rather contractors offer financing from somebody, whether it be a competitor or not, than not offer it. Because the people that really get hurt in the end of this are the consumers that actually need
Mhm.
affordability to buy the home services that contractors sell.
Right. Right. And are you seeing that it's harder to get people to qualify now than it was a couple years ago?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There's buckets for different types of buyers. Now,
Okay.
I can speak to that from just looking outside at my neighborhood. Let me pick on three people. We've got Brian, we've got Scott, and we've got Adam. Brian has got an 850 credit score, owns his house free and clear, got great equity in his home. He
Mm-hmm.
might be a secured lending customer. Scott across the street, he's got about a 680 credit score, and he needs an affordable payment solution. And
Okay.
if he can afford it, he'll buy it. So he's an
Right.
unsecured, long-term, low monthly payment option. And then the
Okay.
guy down the street there has got a decent credit score. He's a 679, but he doesn't like to pay interest on anything. He wants a promotional loan like an 18-month same as cash.
Right.
So your question was, are we having a difficult time getting these people funded? No, because he's got a 679, he's got a 700 something, and he's got an 850. They're all going to qualify for
Okay.
three different types of lending solutions.
Okay.
Here's the challenge is when you have somebody with seriously delinquent challenge. Now I'm going to say challenge credit, not bad credit. You have somebody with seriously challenged credit. They're at a 400. They went through bankruptcy. They've got
Right.
mortgage late. Their credit score was high. Now it's going low. They've got too many delinquencies. They've got too many credit inquiries. Yes,
Okay.
those people will have a very difficult time getting approved.
Okay. Because
Now,
I've got a couple clients that I work with,
mhm.
and I've heard comments from them on our different coaching calls and stuff that they are having a harder time getting people
Mhm.
to qualify now that the
Yep.
interest rates are a little higher than they were,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's
it's got nothing to
hitting
do
their
with
sales.
interest rates. What it's got to do is the
Okay.
credit quality of their customers. So
Okay.
if you were to pull the Fred report, FRED, it will show the delinquency rates across the United States. And it's a little beautiful bar graph. And
Uh-huh.
you can choose different types of credit quality. You could choose credit cards. You
Mm-hmm.
could look at oh my goodness, and the delinquency rates. Let's just call it delinquency rates. And you can
Okay.
definitely see that the bar graph is raising up. And here's the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
We're stacking on debt on top of debt on top of debt right now. So it's not necessarily the interest rates that people aren't choosing. It's the credit
Okay.
quality of the customers that are seeking
Okay.
financing because they're
Okay.
putting everything on credit cards and everything on debt right now. So their debt
Okay.
to income ratios are
Too
sometimes
high.
too high for a standard secured loan
Right.
qualifying.
Uh-huh.
However, unsecured lending is just stated, typically it's stated to a certain amount. Those people don't have to have a debt to income ratio because it's a stated program.
Okay.
Most of the contractors that are complaining, it's not about the interest rates because interest rates haven't moved 9% to 14.99 up to a 20-year term.
Uh-huh.
It's the delinquency rates in the credit qualifications of
People.
their customers that contractors are complaining about because they can't get their people approved because they've got challenge credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That makes more sense
Yeah.
because
Yep.
Because I know how hard it is on some of these higher ticket items
Yep.
to be able to, to get people to, so you can make your sale. And I'm seeing it in top line revenue and in bottom line profits
Sure.
on a couple of my clients.
Yeah, you could look at a bar graph over the last 10 years and see what happened. The rates at some of the largest lenders in the nation have only gone up a point, no matter what's happening in our economy. It went
Okay.
from, it used to be a 9.9910 year, and now it's a 10.9910 year.
Okay.
So the standard of a retail installment contract interest rate is pretty standard. Most people are anywhere between a 9.99 and a 12.99 for prime credit. And that
Okay.
is with us, we go up to a 20-year term with no prepayment penalty. A lot of my competitors only do a 10-year amortization on a 120 month. So my payment on 20 years on $10,000 is 85 bucks. My competitors is $132 because they can only go to 10, I can go to a 20. So,
And that could make a difference in whether you get the sale or not.
or they qualify for the debt to income.
Right. Right.
Because if it's $85 a month, that's a lower monthly
Hmm.
payment in the DTI. And if it's 132, that might push the ratio over.
Right. Wow. Lot to think about.
Yeah, my mind
Yeah.
just works in numbers all the time, like yours, right?
I was having a conversation with my admin assistant earlier, and um, she said she was going to create a form. And so in her mind, she heads for Word. In my mind, I'd be building it out in Excel because that's where the nerds hang out. So she
Oh,
was laughing at
my
me.
math teachers from high school would be proud
That's right.
of my
So,
acumen. So anyway,
so in today's world, it seems like most of the home service businesses are having to rely on some sort of financing for their customers.
mm,
And I
sure,
think I'm seeing more and more of that. That was something I didn't hardly hear about several years ago when I
yeah,
was
no, no.
working with these guys. And now I hear it all the time.
Yeah. Well, let's touch on that, yeah.
You
So
bet.
several years ago, let's not quantify that.
Yeah, yeah.
We've already dated ourselves, or I've already
Yes, we
my.
have. Yes, we have.
So here's the old back in the olden days. I don't need financing. All my customers pay cash.
Right.
And then you ask the contractor this. Oh, that's cool. So all none of your customers use a credit card. No, I didn't say that. I said all my customers pay cash. Well, credit cards are a form of financing. You're just putting all the onus on the consumer to pay in 30 days at a super high interest rate, right? Yeah, so good.
Right.
We can agree that that's not a true statement. So, in order for a contractor to compete in today's marketplace, they need to do this. How would you like to pay? Would you like to use our money or would you like to use yours? We offer 100% financing, 18 months, same as cash, long term loan with the payment options. You can buy now and pay later. So if they're not offering all these cute little offers that I just said in their words and their vocabulary and at the point of sale to help the consumer make a decision between promotional loans and long term loan with the payment options or using equity in your house, they're going to lose out to their competitors that are. So it comes down to a competitive nature, but more importantly, the consumers are waiting for a finance offer nowadays. Why? I'll give you the big why. Nobody's ever thought about this.
Okay.
You go to Amazon to buy a Remarkable, it's a computerized
Mm-hmm.
notepad.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon's got three options. They've got good, better, and best. They have one for 550, 650, and 750.
Yep.
And the one for 750's got the Pro Pen and it's color and it's got the beautiful thing and it's got an upgraded keypad that does all the kits and the caboodles. The beautiful thing about Amazon is the bottom of the buy now bucket is buy now, pay later. Affirm 6 equal payments of X equals Y. So if our customers are conditioned from Amazon, and they're
Mm-hmm.
commissioned when they're buying new Brooks running shoes for 4 equal payments, and they're used to paying for their gasoline on their credit card or their groceries on their credit card, and their furniture from Ashley Furniture for 5 years for free, and their
Mm-hmm.
mortgage is on a mortgage, not paying cash, and their car is on a car loan, then why shouldn't any home improvement service be the same? We show up with these high tickets, 10, 15, 20, 30, $150,000 for home improvements, and we just expect the consumer to pay cash? Like it's taken this long for contractors to catch up to the reality that people are conditioned and price conditioned to pay affordability, not pay for the price tag. So that's
And your
what's
average
happening. We have this big, beautiful wake up right now of wow, I should really offer my customers affordable payments so they can buy this thing that we sell.
Wow, that's cool because I've heard that over and over from my clients, and my customers pay cash. And when I see their books, that's what I see. Everything's paid, no AR, but never stop to think about how are they getting paid so that it shows paid when it hits me on my end.
You want a leak real quick?
Sure.
Here's a mini leak before our big leak.
Okay.
Here's a mini
Okay.
leak. All my customers pay cash. Great. What about the customers that you didn't land because you didn't offer them a finance solution?
Right.
So there's a
Right.
huge leak.
That is a big one.
Maybe we could have saved that for the end. However, let's just do a couple leaks throughout this because there's a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah. We
But
love giving, sharing profit leaks.
like, if you didn't offer the payment solution or the affordable financing solution, did you lose the job? You could have.
You could have. You
Okay,
bet.
now let's take an even crazier angle. What if, just what if you offered an affordable payment solution and allowed them to buy something bigger and better from you? So if you're a roofer selling a $10,000 roof and you're only offering cash and they only have 10,000, what if you could have offered them a $15,000 roof with a better warranty and a better product, and they could have bought it for $110 per month? And the customer wanted that bigger, better home improvement. They didn't want the 10,000, they wanted the
Mhm.
15. But because you didn't give them an affordable option, they had to settle for the 10. So your books that you look at, you're seeing a baseline from people that just offer cash or a credit card. You're not seeing the ability of an upsell or a cross sell into a better system or process in a home improvement. Your contractors are missing out on profits because they're not offering an affordable way to buy a bigger and better product or solution. In the decking industry, it happens quite often. A deck contractor will show up, and the consumer's got this idea that they want this $10,000 deck. Then reality sets in, and the contractor goes, well, that $10,000 deck that you dream of and you saw in the magazine is 40 grand. And the consumer's like, right there,
What?
shocked. They're like, 40 grand. They're like, yeah, here's the reason why. Then they educate them. They're like, oh my goodness, we didn't know it cost this much. And then you go, but it's okay. You can still have your dream deck. We can make it affordable for you. Would you prefer an 18-month same as cash or a long-term loan with the payment option with no prepayment penalty? Now we sold a $40,000 deck.
That you wouldn't have sold otherwise.
Couldn't, because they couldn't sell it because the customer had this they thought that they could this thing was 10 grand, and then they found out that it's really 40, and it really is because they educated us. And now we're price conditioned to know that, wow, these things are really expensive. We didn't know. That happened to me when I went to go buy a side by side here in Utah. I didn't know that they cost $50,000. I thought they were maybe 25. And then I went out and I got price conditioned.
After some
Conditioned.
sticker shock.
Sticker shock. And I'm like, oh, it is what it is. I got to spend $45,000 on a side by side. I mean, I had to go through it myself, and I financed it at 0% for 5 years. Like, and I'm serious. It's a true story. Like, I financed my side by side. I bought it through my business. You'd be very proud of me because we use it in our marketing and advertising.
Make
But
sure
anyway,
you're
like,
using it.
but I bought the expensive one because I wanted the best, bigger, better, and it's affordable because I bought it on a finance plan. So
Right. And otherwise, you would have bought a much smaller one and figured out a way to possibly pay for it
I'd have
somehow.
never been happy.
Yeah.
I would
Yep.
have bought the wrong machine, and I would
Yep.
have never been happy. Now I'm happy because there's none better than what I have out there in the
And
drawer.
now, because you're happy, you'll be telling other people about this amazing side by side that you bought from this particular dealer. Where if you would have bought the one that you weren't necessarily happy, but you settled for, how many people would you told about how happy you were
None,
about your machine from that dealer?
none, nope,
Yeah.
none. Yeah,
Yep. And so there's all of those little hidden pieces that interweave in the back of a
yeah,
consumer's mind that affect our businesses. Back to your example of the roof, the 10 or the 15,000. Well, the $15,000 roof costs, yes, a little bit more in materials, but not $5,000 more in materials.
yeah.
And so let's say, I'm just going to say the profit on that was maybe 2,500 of that extra five. That went straight to your bottom line profit. Didn't
Indeed.
take any longer to put that roof on the building. Didn't
Yes,
take any longer to possibly take off the other one, if they had to take it off. It didn't take anything longer, so it was pure profit.
correct.
All because they were able to step up and buy the higher one.
Yeah, and I
And
mean,
we
and
forget
sometimes it
about that.
doesn't even. To your point, it doesn't even have to be the material. It could be an added service. You could
Right.
have a maintenance agreement plan where you come out twice a year, hop up on the roof, check the gutters out, make sure everything looks good, trim a tree back here and there, put them on a red hot list that if the storm comes, because they're a premier buyer, they're first to be called and have direct access to them for any
Right.
questions or concerns that come up. It doesn't always have to be a product. It could be a service that can be added on for the value. I call it value stack selling system. You can add services into your home services that create more value for
Mhm.
profitability and margin integrity add-ons.
And those types of services go straight to bottom line profits.
Always.
Always.
And it increases the value of your company because it sets you up as a differentiator compared to competitors.
Right. I love the way you think.
Thank you.
Yes. It's fun to uncover areas that we can maybe possibly open up somebody else who's either not thought about this or they thought about it, but it was a couple years ago and they just got busy.
Yeah.
And now maybe it's time to come back and revisit some of these
Yeah.
things.
You know, Jay Abraham.
Uh huh.
So Jay Abraham, I used to study a lot of his material a few years ago, and it got repetitive. So Jay, I like it. It got repetitive. Same story. So
Right.
come on, man.
Yeah.
He always said, go outside of your industry to learn things interesting, and then bring them back into
Bring them
your
in.
industry,
Right.
right? So we can learn so much from so many different things, and then bring them back into our business to it reignite because it can get a little stale. If you're a plumber just plumbing and plumbing all the time, you're plumbing pipes and pipes and plumbing. But if you can create some offers that maybe an air conditioning or a generator or a roofer is doing out there and they're advertising, they're marketing, and they're creative and bring it into your plumbing world, it can sometimes give these home service people just the boost that they need for
Right.
great success to tap into a new market.
And I love it when a plumber, an electrician, an HVAC, and a roofer will all work together and cross promote each other.
Yeah. Yep.
Because now you're making sales because I was in your backyard or your front yard or inside your house or on your roof or wherever I was and I saw this need.
Yep. Creating a
And yeah,
great
we're
referral
all
network.
working together.
Yep.
And that's not something you see very often
No.
because people get that it's all mine. I got to hold it close to my chest type of thing. I don't want you taking something away from me, and then they're not willing to work together. They've got that scarcity mindset instead of abundance mindset. And so when we can help somebody make that work, that is a win-win on all four sides
Indeed.
or more. You know, because you got to throw in your landscaper, your pool guy, all those people that they're in and out of somebody's home.
Yeah. Yep. I
And
agree. I
yeah.
agree.
So there's some great profit leaks there by not hooking up and working with other people,
Yes. Yep.
doing that cross promotion back and forth.
Yes.
Trying to think where I want to go next with this because I love this topic and I love this idea. And I think it's really needed out there in the home services. Um, Unfortunately, our whole society has been conditioned to pay it with plastic at the minimum
Hmm.
or figure out some other way of paying it. Gone are the days, your grandparents, my grandparents would have paid cash for it or they would have gone without till they could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Yes, they are.
And
Thank
so
goodness.
we need to be evolving that way with our own businesses and be able and willing, be thinking of how can we get creative? How can we become that purple cow, that book that you showed? And for those of you watching us on YouTube, you can see the different props that Chris is showing us. For those of you listening on the more traditional podcast platforms, hop over to YouTube and you'll be able to see us going back and forth with this particular episode.
And all my books are hidden over there in my bookshelf way in the back.
This is a small piece of what's in my bookshelf.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I finished reading Profit First a few months ago. That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Life-changing book.
Yes.
Life-changing. And that's why I love to work with these home service businesses and help them get profit first set up in their business and let's go on
Oh,
a profit leak hunt.
I've got a
It's
great
so
quote.
fun.
Would you like a great quote?
I love a great quote.
Oh, my goodness. The race to the bottom is never worth the win.
Oh, definitely. I
Chris
love
Scoville.
that.
So that's my quote. And what it's in reference to home service pros listening is, and we're talking about profits. So that's what reminded me of this quote that I created a long time ago. Because in my industry, I always hear this. Well, they're cheaper. Of course, they're
Yeah.
cheaper because they're not profitable and they might not be in business. So you are worth so much more than you think. You do not ever discount yourself. You don't give cash discounts.
No.
You are worth every penny. You protect your profits or you're not in business anymore. And if you're not in business anymore, therefore you can't offer any value to your customers, your clients, or your family. So you must stay in business. Therefore, you must have profits. Therefore, you must not ever discount yourself and race to the bottom to try to be the cheapest in your marketplace. Matter of fact, you should probably increase your pricing and do it right now.
Right. Do it
Like,
right now.
I could go on and on and on. Well, Chris, if I increase my prices, people won't be able to afford me. Contraire, mon frere. That's why we offer financing solutions so they can afford you.
Right.
But yeah, I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. And I have to create that paradigm shift in a lot of contractors' minds that you're worth it. You are worth it.
And
We charge a fee. You charge a fee for your
yes,
services.
I
I
do.
charge a
Yes.
fee for my services. I'm a for-profit business.
Right.
I couldn't offer the great four pillars that I mentioned earlier if I didn't charge for my services.
Correct. Right.
So I had a guy yesterday push back. I don't ever pay for financing. I've never done it before. Blah, 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 blah. I said, that's fine. We're not the right fit for you. You keep doing what you're doing with who you're doing it with,
Hmm.
then, man. No harm, no foul. And, I frankly asked him, I said, well, that's interesting because he didn't think it was fair that we charged a fee for our services, which is really odd because we offer quite a bit. But anyway, I said, well, geez, do you charge your clients to build roofs? And he said, yes, of course. And it was an end of discussion because he saw the light. He's like, oh, you're a business too. Yes. My services, my product, my 18 teammates that we have all over the United States, my university, my training, my course, my buy down ability, my technology, my tools, my support. Like, we are a full blown business. We're not a non for profit. If I was a non for
And
profit, then I wouldn't be able to create any value to my clients to help them sell more jobs, make more money, have higher profit margins. So it's just interesting to think that some people just like, oh, I'm just going to discount my prices and I'm going to get more customers. No, you're not. You're going to get all the wrong customers
mhm.
probably
Right.
by attracting the
Well,
people that aren't your avatar anyway. So
and then I hear all the time is, when they've done that, they've cut their price or gave a discount or whatever, and then they complain that they can't keep good team members. Well, because you can't afford to pay them. And so you're getting the
just
dread, what's left at the bottom in the
it's
way
a
of
big
employees not coming.
dragnet of problems
Yeah.
once you've done that. It just blows my mind. Blows my mind. But
So
like,
you,
if I have a value stack selling system, let's say that when somebody comes onto my platform, I give them 25 big, beautiful value things right down the line.
mhm.
And if I had to sell it at a discount, what does that mean I would have to do? I'd have to remove value from our
Yes, you
offer.
would.
Now,
You
if I'm
would.
stripping value from my offer, they're not getting 100% of me. They're
No.
getting 60%. That means that they're missing out on 40% of the other things that they needed. Because I just don't put things in my value stack to make it look pretty. They all work and they're there for a
Mhm.
reason. And this is the same thing for you, home improvement contractors and service folks that are listening to this. When you start stripping out and discounting things, it means that you've got to pull back from somewhere else in your business.
Mhm.
And then you are doing a disservice to your clients that you serve because you're not giving them 100% of what they deserve and what you have to offer. Period and paragraph.
Very well said. Yes.
I'm
And
gonna
it,
start yelling. I'm gonna start preaching and yelling.
you're just getting warmed up, huh?
Diane's like, I thought we were going to talk about financing.
Listeners are going to go, okay, this is a 2-hour podcast this go around. What's she doing?
And I never allow people to send me what we're going to talk about. You're like, do you want to go over what? No, nope. I'll see you on the podcast.
Yep, me too. I do the same thing. It's like we will pull some value out of wherever it ends up going.
It could be a real long, quiet one, or we could talk. That's fun.
So, what other little nuggets of wisdom can we drop on these listeners
Well,
today?
my goodness, there's so much. Our goal to really help these contractors is in positioning. It's in being a differentiator, being that purple cow, as we said from Seth Godin's book there. It's creating a paradigm shift of back in the day, contractors liked to have a landing page on their website and it would say financing, click here to apply. Like that was it. And that's like
Yep.
contractors will call and say, "Oh, I want to put a link on my page. Oh, I want to put a link on my page. Oh, I want to be." And I'm like, "We don't do that."
No.
What our goal is at my company, Improvify, is to help contractors build their own consumer credit center. I'll say it again, consumer credit center. So if I owned Chris's Roofing, it would say Chris's Roofing Consumer Credit Center. Let our experts help you with your loan needs. It would have my company logo on it. And the goal of creating a consumer credit center for consumers perception, it is we have a bunch of lenders in our portfolio and we can help you with affordability because not all consumers are created equal. Meaning Scott, John, Adam have different loan needs. So if I just have a link on my website and a customer clicks on it and it says enter social security number, and I
Ooh,
leave,
ah.
I freeze frame, and they go, that's it. I just really,
I'm out. Yep.
I'm out. So our goal is not to put website links and lending links on people's
Mhm.
websites. It's very cold and very much a
Yeah.
commodity. What we
Yep.
want to do is create a warm environment to say, hey, Chris's Roofing has a consumer credit center. Our customers get we offer 100% financing, and we offer our customers 18 months same as cash, no interest, and we offer them unsecured loans, and we want to give the smell of the steak and the onions and the garlic. We don't want to give them the steak yet, and then we want to collect their data. Then we want to send them the finance link. Because at the end of the day, the consumer's data is diamonds. And
Hmm.
sending them to a link that they might click on, see Social Security and abandoned cart, it's called abandoned cart syndrome,
Right.
is just not good. The better experience for consumers to go to Chris's Roofing, learn about Chris's Roofing, fall in love with Chris's Roofing, trust Chris's Roofing, see that we have a financing consumer credit center, and go, wow, the other 6 companies that came in here didn't have that. They're doing something different.
Right.
So that's the experience that we want to build for our clients and to improve. It's not just, we don't want to give them a link and say, here, put this on your site, you know, go get some apps. We want to give them a real experience so they can develop a relationship and not just
Mhm.
collect leads.
Right. The what you were just talking about reminds me of Jesse Cole's Find Your Yellow Tux.
Yep.
Same type of thing. Create
Is
that
that the
experience.
banana baseball guy?
Yeah, the Savannah Bananas. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Create that experience that your competitors aren't creating. Leave them with a wow of some sort so
Yes.
that they remember you out of those 6 people that they talked to.
Yep.
And now you've got the sale or a much higher, chance of getting that sale.
Yes, indeed.
So it's
Yep.
one of my favorite books, but you probably can't tell that, can you?
That's funny. I didn't even know he had a book. I just saw him on social media the other day. I was like, who's a yellow tux guy? And
Yeah, he's got a couple books. This was his first one.
okay, all right.
And like I said, it's got yellow highlight and
If
yellow
I
sticky
buy
tabs.
another book and don't read what I've already got, my wife is going to put me up against the wall. I love buying books, but I can't get to all of them.
I know. I have a whole bunch I've not read either that I've bought.
Yeah.
This one I read it in one setting from flying from the East Coast home. I plowed through the whole book and marked it up.
And somebody sitting next to you on the airplane was like,
It's a little weird.
highlight, circle, fold, earmark, yellow tags. Ah,
Yep.
you walk off the plane with great ideas.
Yep. Jotting down notes in the margins and stuff. We have tried several of these
What's
things.
that book behind you that says get different?
Get different. That's a Mike McAllowitz book. It's about marketing, making
Oh,
yourself stand out and be different. Yeah.
well, we're talking a lot about that today.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And that's a great place to be in
Yeah.
business is
We
being
have to.
completely different.
You have to. If
Yeah,
you are in home services and you're Bob's HVAC and you got a white van with some weird magnet on it, you're done.
you're done.
It's
Yeah.
so loud out there. There's so much noise. And if you ain't standing out, you're going to get crushed in
Right.
this
Yeah.
marketplace that's changing oh so quickly overnight. You're
Oh,
going to get
just in the last 5 years, it's changed dramatically.
all of our business comes from referrals. No, it doesn't. It did over the last 25 years. They're on
But not
Google
now.
and AI now searching for it ain't referrals anymore,
No.
man. It is you better get out there. We haven't had to ever offer financing. We have to offer it now. No kidding. Oh, blessed.
Well, Chris, we've come to the section in our program, and I'm
Yes.
going to hold up my proud to be profitable bucket.
Yep.
It's got money in it, and I'd love to have you share with our listeners one or two, if you want, unique profit leaks or hidden profit leaks that you see when you work with home service businesses.
Great.
So listen up, listeners.
So I would say, um, when and if you do add financing to your business, spend some time with your consultant on talking about margin integrity and this thing called zero cost averaging.
Okay.
Now, this is a little 205 level. And if anybody is interested in learning more on what I'm talking about, because I'm going to try to talk at a third or a fifth grade level so we all understand what I'm saying. When you go to a lender, they are going to offer you products and programs to sell or offer to your
Mm-hmm.
consumers. There is a cost of funds for money because money costs money to get it from Wall Street
Mm-hmm.
to Main Street and then back to Wall Street. Okay. So, how do I help your home services people protect their profitability? It's called zero cost averaging. They must look at the portfolio of solutions that they offer. They must take a mean, a middle price between, let's say they're offering three, divide that, and then build that pricing, profitability, margin integrity into their home service product that they're selling. So, for instance, if I'm Chris's Roofing today and I only sell cash, oh, I'm
Okay.
not even selling credit cards. All my roofs are $10,000. And I meet this Chris Scoville guy, and he's convinced me that I have to offer financing. And if it's determined that product one is a zero dealer fee, product number two is a 2% dealer fee, and product number three is a 5. It's fair to say that the 5 plus a 2 is 7. Divide that in half, it's 3.5. Correct?
Okay.
Great. So, with all due respect, if I offer financing next week, I should probably sell my roofs that I sell today for $10,350.
Okay.
Now, why? Well, because if I zero cost average 100 jobs that I sell in a year, a certain percentage of them are still going to be cash.
Right.
Certain percentage are going to be the zero dealer fee that costs nothing. Some of
Okay.
them are going to be on the 2% program. Some might be on the 5% program. Oh, but I've only built 3.5 and it's okay. And some of them might slide a credit card in there at a 3%.
Right.
So if my zero cost averaging is done properly, a large percentage of my customers already pay cash. I make what? An extra
Three
3.5%
and a
on
half
each job.
percent. Mm-hmm.
If some of them take the no dealer fee program up to 20 years terms, which we have right here, no dealer fee, then I make an extra 3.5%. If some of them take the 2%, then I make an extra point and a half. If some of them take a credit card, then I make half of a point.
Half a bit. Mm-hmm.
And if some of them take the promo that costs 5, I might lose a point and a half. But only 10 out of my 100 took that program. So your brain right now is going, holy cow.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm I'm going to build an Excel sheet to build zero cost averaging to show my customers that if they start selling financing, not only do they start attracting more people because 100% financing, same as cash, long-term loan payment option, no prepay, is attracting more people. I'm going to sell more jobs. Now my ticket size has gone up because now I can offer affordability. Now I'm selling higher.
Right.
Here's the big, I hope everyone's listening. This is super important. This stuff costs a lot of money from what I'm giving you for free right now, by the way. Now my sales rep goes out there to sell the product at 10,350, and the customer says, "Hey, I'm going to pay you cash today. Can you give me a discount?" Your sales rep can do what?
So I can get you a $350 discount.
And if you sign today and give me church, work, and school referral and a yard sign for 90 days, I can give you
Uh-huh.
$350 off.
Right.
Now I'm not giving you a discount. I'm negotiating.
Right.
We're
Yep.
negotiating. What's a negotiation? Church, work, school referral, 3 referrals to
Huh?
get on a roof to do an estimate, and a yard sign for 90 days. I didn't give him a discount at all.
All
I gave
right.
him
I like that
$350 off,
incentive.
but I negotiated them to give me referrals and a yard sign for 90 days. But my office allowed me to discount 350 because you were paying cash today.
Right. Love it.
Called zero cost averaging. and margin integrity built into one big
Mhm.
freaking leak.
Love it. I will tell you that is a unique one I have not had on this program yet. You're just hitting on unique on all buttons today, aren't you?
Here to head it out of the park for you, Diane.
Well, listeners, I hope you have enjoyed this episode as much as I have. Chris, this has been amazing with what you've been able to share with us. And when we go offline, I have a client I want to talk to you about that I
Great.
think could really use your help.
Here to
So,
help. Thanks for
yeah,
having me on, Diane. I really, really appreciate it
you
today.
bet. How can our listeners find out more about Chris Scoville and
Oh,
Improvify?
well, probably somewhere in this thing we'll have links, like the Facebook, the LinkedIn, all that, Instagram, our website, Improvify. What is it? IMPROVIFI.com, Improvify.com. So there'll be a link down there. There's little forums on there to meet with us, talk to the consultant, learn about our pricing and our programs.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. Listeners, just want to do it another one of those reminders that it's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. We've all heard the saying that gross is for vanity and net is for sanity. Sometimes we get caught up in I'm a $5 million company. In reality, you're not. So, we don't want to, we want to be really focusing on that bottom line profit, not just that top line revenue. So I hope you found value in today's episode. And just ask you, would you please take a moment to leave a review or share this with another home service business? We just love to get the word out that we are your profit leak professionals. We want to get out there and find those profit leaks, get them plugged up, and start putting that money back in your bottom line. Also, would you take a moment, go out to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe? We're trying to build our listener base, and we're looking for people that'll help us grow that as well. If you want more help identifying profit leaks and building out your pricing and your costs and your service structure, your systems, your processes, we'd love to help you. Our coaching programs are built to help home service business owners just like you increase your profits and your cash flow because we want you taking your profit first. No crumbs allowed. You take your profit first. We want you to be able to hire a great team, and we want you to start loving your business again. So for now, we're going to say goodbye and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks again, Chris.
Thank you.